Hey, what's up, people? I hope all is well. Um, this situation is just really crazy right now. I got a map here that shows you what's happening right now, just showing you a brief target. Um, where you see the red like shape, those are the bombs that's being bombed in those areas. And Kiev is heavily guarded right now, so that's the capital. They not able. What it was is Russia was under the pressure that they could just come in there and take over Kiev real quick, and they faced with a lot of opposition. Um, Obviously, we know that Ukraine is no match for Russia, but Russia does has an opposition because it's at least a million people right now fighting to protect Ukraine as we speak right now. And initially, when we was talking about Russia, with how many troops they had, it was around 200, 300,000. So they faced with opposition with ground combat because even though that a lot of the military with Ukraine, they not heavily trained as well as the Russians are, but nevertheless, there's over a million of them right now fighting. And then what happened is a lot of the people was trying to flee the country. So whoever fled the country had to end up interacting with the Ukrainian military. And if you're a man between 18 and 60, I believe, they're making you stay behind and you have to get drafted to fight the war. So that's pretty much what it is. They're trying to get as much people as possible because Ukraine has a population of 44 million people. 44 million people Ukraine has right now. Ukraine is obviously is no match for Russia, but I understand their strategy. Their strategy, they're trying to hold out as long as possible where war is costing Russia money because right now it's costing them a lot of money because they didn't think that they was gonna face with all this opposition right now. And they are, so that's pretty much what it is. Ukraine has a population of 44 million people, and at least 19.4 million people are men. So just remember that. So a lot of them are fleeing right now. So anywhere from 18, I think 18 to 60. I could be wrong. I know 18 is old and up. They taking them and they're giving them arms. And it's sad because some of them were saying that they never even held a gun before. It's crazy. But as we know, there's around 300 Russian troops, like I stated before, that's invaded. Um, it's kind of sad because it's like with this situation is that they basically fighting for their freedom in a sense because if they go under the Russian rule, it's almost like communists again. So it won't be the same, and the propaganda will be very strong like they do in Russia, where they have one media that puts out a lot of negative content as it pertains to other countries, and you really don't have too much freedom to watch anything you want on a wide scale in Russia. So it's pretty much restricted. The government can try to control what you see and stuff like that. But even in Russia right now, they fighting heavily. They fighting tooth and nail to try to see what they can do to like get Vladimir Putin to stop what he's doing and try to retreat. Now, the problem is everybody was estimated that this war was going to be over a lot faster, and unfortunately, it's not. I mean, I don't want it to be over in the sense that I don't want nothing to happen to Ukraine. I want Russia or Ukraine to fight. But what we're afraid of, if this war keep on causing Vladimir Putin too much, I'm afraid that he might use nuclear warheads. Now, nuclear warheads is something to be concerned about because nobody wins in a nuclear war. If he decided to decimate Ukraine by shooting out nuclears, what's going to happen is it's not so much the ground getting ripped up is the issue, is the smoke and all that go in the air and start blocking the atmosphere. And as they block the atmosphere, the temperature of Earth drops. And as the temperature of Earth drops, we get into a nuclear winter. It gets really, really cold. And then, as you know it, all the food and crops that can't, that need sunlight to be self-sustaining, you stop producing crop. What happens? People starve to death. So there's a lot of reasons why it's not a good idea to use nuclear war. And Russia got the most. Russia got a lot of nuclear warheads. Right now, they just using surface-to-air missiles and they bombing. They pretty much trying to target all the military installations throughout Ukraine, all around it. But they also hitting like parks. They hit buildings, residential buildings and stuff like that where people live at. There's report of casualties. Right now, from what I was hearing, and this is all speculation, 2,800 troops from Russia was killed by the Ukrainians, and around Ukrainians, I think they're in the 300s right now. Of how many they got killed? Because remember, Ukraine has Ukraine actually has more ground force people right now than Russia until Russia mobilized more troops. Russia has a way bigger military because they're not even using a third of their military. They're only using like a quarter of it. They're using just 300,000 people. So they might have to employ more people to fight because Russia has 3 million in total. I think it's like 1 million active duty, and then it's like 2 million reserve or something like that. Don't quote me on it. You do your research. I'm just spilling off the numbers out of my head, so I might not be 100% accurate. Ukraine only has a military size of 250, but they do have 900,000 reserves, and they all been activated. So that's what I'm hearing. So 900,000 has been activated right now. So they're all fighting. So it's a difference between Russia and Ukraine because Russia is just invading. Ukraine is fighting for their lives. They fight for their country. So a lot of people staying behind. So obviously you're gonna have more people on Ukraine side fighting. A lot of non-trained people fighting just to try to save their country. So it's a difference. Now there's over 3 million Ukraine citizens in Russia as we speak right now. But there's a lot of Russians protesting all throughout Russia. I have videos I showed it. I posted on my Facebook just so people could see it. There's a lot of videos right now showing a lot of protesting, and protesting is very dangerous in Russia. It's not like here in America. It's way more dangerous because with protesting, if you protest in Russia, they can kill you for that. You know, they lock you up and you can get killed for that. It's different. It's not like protesting right here in America. So it's very scary right now. So we see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated as information changes. And then I want to talk about China real quick. This is a perfect time for China to attack Taiwan because China been trying to attack Taiwan for an issue because they're trying to say that they're part of Taiwan. I mean, Taiwan is a part of China. So that's another issue right there where our fleets is divided. But now America might end up getting involved with this war because before they were sitting aside and let Ukraine fight by itself. But if Ukraine is able to maintain their position for a longer period of time, war costs money. So they did put sanctions on their economics, and they didn't use the Swift bank because everybody's like wondering why they not use Swift bank. Swift bank would catastrophically kill Russia as far as one of the biggest banks they have. But that bank will also kill a lot of our NATO allies because a lot of NATO allies rely on Russia because Russia is number 2 as producing the most oil in the world. And even in America, 7% of the oil in America is being produced by Russia. So just understand that gas price is going to go up because we creating these sanctions for them. It's going to be an issue regardless. So I'm going to let you guys go. And as we get more updated information, I'll be happy to post it on here on my YouTube channel. Please follow me. Please click like and subscribe. Share with your friends. This is Kurt the Jerk, and I'm out. Peace.